everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
And this is Charlotte, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're taking a look at the latest installment in Exit the Game, which is basically an escape room in a box. Today we have The Lord of the Rings, Shadows over Middle-earth.
I am also excited to be covering Exit Lord of the Rings because I am very much in a Lord of the Rings mood right now because we just finished the finale for Rings of Power
I love
on
when
Amazon
they
Prime.
time the IP like this so well.
Yeah.
It's very good marketing.
Yeah, so I have lots of thoughts, so we're going to squeeze in a mini review toward the end, but on to this game. Alright, so we're talking about Exit the Game, Lord of the Rings version. And we have Miss Charlotte joining us today because she decided she wanted to hang out with you guys instead of taking a nap. So, what is Exit the Game initially?
Yes, okay, so basically this is a one and done, like cheap little box where you are gonna do a 2-hour experience where you're gonna be solving these mysteries and riddles, and there's these cards that you can check if you got the right answer, and it does it in a way that doesn't actually spoil it. So it's like, oh, I was wrong, I gotta try again. And then eventually once you get through all these puzzles, now as you're going, you're going to be destroying this thing. So you're going to be cutting things up, you're going to be writing on things, you're going to be folding things. So because of that, it is one and done. It also means you don't see everything when you first start. So we won't be showing a lot of B-roll in this video. We'll just be talking about what we like about it and what we think just in general.
Now we have covered Exit before on this channel, which I'll go ahead and link that up here and down below, where we did a general overview of the game. We covered 3 of those there.
Yeah.
So if you want to see just Exit in general, I highly encourage you to go check that out. But today we're just going to talk about the Lord of the Rings version. So what are we doing in this? What is the plot?
Yes, okay, so basically the story sets up that we are this second party running interference for the Fellowship. So essentially we went ahead and paved the way so that it was possible for the Fellowship to succeed.
Yeah, Frodo did nothing. We're doing everything behind the scenes. We're the real heroes.
Yeah, and so that's basically it. So we do roughly follow the path of the movies just from a different perspective, or the books, just from a different perspective. Now, what I really like about the way that it's illustrated and everything, they use a lot of really fun physical pieces that kind of showed us different key iconic moments.
Yep.
They also featured art by the Mico, which I immediately recognized. I was like, oh, wow, they got an actual board game artist to come in and do really cool board game stuff.
Yeah.
Now, close your eyes for 5 seconds if you don't want to see some spoilers, but here's some of the art. You got Rivendell, really cool. Some other really cool things.
He's in it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen the movies or you read the books, it does follow those key points. So it's not exactly a spoiler of different things you're going to do along the way, but it's how you do them and how you solve these puzzles. That's where the creativity comes in. So I would say for this one, since we played a lot of Exit games, I would say the Lord of the Rings Exit game is one of the is an entry-level escape game.
Very much so.
Yeah. So you're going to, the puzzles weren't extremely difficult. Some of them were more challenging and did take us a while, but I would say they're user-friendly. You're not going to be sitting there forever being I give up. I would say that if you have never played an Exit game before, you're really into Lord of the Rings, I think this is a good one to go ahead and jump in with. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. So the game features this system where you can get these help cards that help, okay, I don't want to know the answer, but I want to get a little bitty clue. So they give you up to 3 clues before they tell you what the answer is so you can proceed. We didn't end up needing any clues for any of the puzzles, with the exception of one, which I think we should talk about, because the very weird thing about this, it involves cutting up something, and part of the clues that they give you is you messed it up so badly that they give you an extra copy to cut up, which you get to it, I'm like, wow, okay, they gave us a second copy because it's so not obvious.
Yeah.
It should have been more obvious. It does not make sense to me that they knew that it was not perfect and then they still put a clue in there for it. Yeah.
And so I think they should have made that more clear. They are, my guess is they decided afterwards maybe that it was too hard to throw in that extra card just in case.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But overall, I feel that having played the other Exit games, I feel that some of these puzzles felt similar to other ones I had played. And I hadn't really run into that when I had played a variety of Exits. So I feel like the designers were taking their some of their greatest hits to make Lord of the Rings to do it very well for new people, which I don't find any fault in that. That's why I think it should be your first one that you play, or one of the first ones. And then I am not a grand Lord of the Rings fan. It's just I didn't grow up with it. So to me, the overall power to get through the story wasn't really there. It kind of felt like individual puzzles to solve. Like I love some of the exit games where it's like you solve individual puzzles on the page, but there's an overall thing you're trying to solve. I didn't really feel that as much with this one, but you felt the drive.
Oh
You're
yeah,
a huge
yeah.
Lord of the
I've
Rings
loved
fan.
Lord of the Rings forever, and the story tracks very well. I think they chose the right things to feature in this. I don't want to give anything away, but I do think that if you like Lord of the Rings, you should absolutely play this. It's a whole lot of fun.
Did you feel like you had to have seen the movies or read the books to do some of the puzzles?
That's a really good question, because actually, yes, there was one puzzle in particular. I still don't know how you would have known the answer had you not seen the films or read the books. I pulled one of the, it was a specific number that you had to get, and I pulled it out of the book, so I was like, this is what they say.
I didn't know the answer. He's just like, well, it's like from this book. I mean, it's in the movie, so I was like, okay, and then that happened to be the answer.
Yeah, so I still don't know how you would have solved that in the exit game. It's probably in there. If you know what it is, tell us, but yeah, for sure. That was kind of weird.
So I mentioned that I think this is an entry-level exit game, and I actually think that's a really good thing, because I think it brings people into the space that may not have chosen to play an exit game or chosen to play like a board game in general. And they might going down the aisle and say, ooh, Lord of the Rings, and I think that can help open up a new space. So I love when companies use IP and do a really good job designing that game to attract new people to the board game space. Because if they can design it in a good way and use the IP to its advantage and not make it too hard, then you might have new people joining in the board game, and then they want to go explore more and more. All right, now for me to be a television critic for a second. All right, Rings of Power. What did we think? Well, you are the Lord of the Rings buff, so why don't you start out and give some of your initial thoughts on Rings of Power?
All right. So, first of all, I guess...
Spoilers! If
Yes.
you have not seen Ring of Power, do not watch this.
Big spoilers.
All right, go ahead.
So, first of all, I guess the big thing for, everyone says that, yes, they shortened the timeline, they combined things, there's things happening 1,000 years apart that are happening together in the show. I think that's great. I think that's fine. Do that. Do whatever it takes to make it fit into a series like this. That part of the book is like this big. It's nothing. So I think that they did a kind of clever job to kind of pull all those storylines together. That said, in my opinion, the writing is just really weak. A lot of just like Deus Ex Machina, they find it at the last minute. There's this person keeps surviving being repeatedly stabbed or shot in the shoulder, or yes, I'm looking at Bronwyn. And all these characters just like have so much plot armor that it's like, you're not gonna die. Like it's so clear that they're not going to die. And then there's just like other random things like they don't check, their bags or artifacts before they like get hours later and realize, oh no, it's been swapped.
And hand it off to a kid that like clearly is not to be trusted.
I think he's gonna be the Witch King of Angmar.
Oh, you do?
That's my bet.
Interesting.
Yeah. But oh my goodness, there's just it's a mess of stuff like that. There are some really cool parts.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful. I love the like terraforming Mordor. That part's pretty sweet. I love just some of the transformations that happen there. Yes, turns out we actually know who Sauron is. Oh, a lot of us guessed that, I feel like, but it was still kind of a fun reveal. One thing that they told us, so I read an article that said he did not even know he was Sauron until after he filmed the first 2 episodes, which seems a little weird to me and also makes sense because I didn't get any of that foreshadowing like in his character. I don't know,
I feel like
a while.
It wasn't a good reveal, and there's just several things I could go episode by episode with the acting that I feel I don't really blame the actors, but some of it felt very forced to move the plot along and didn't really feel true to how normal people would act.
Like, why was Isildur up in the Queen Regent's, like, flanking party? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like when they're on top of the hill and they're like, you can go, and he like goes by himself down to town. Like, why was that there? That doesn't make any sense.
However, okay, I don't want to criticize the whole thing because I loved the oh gosh, help me with their names. The two dwarfs, the husband and wife.
Oh
dwarfs.
yeah, Durin and his wife.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting her name too. But
they
yes.
were amazing, and I really enjoyed any scenes that they were in. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yes,
and I'm really
the mithril,
excited. Yeah, I'm very
cool.
excited to see where that plot line is going.
Yeah. Well, we know the Balrog is named Durin's Bane, so it's like, I guess this is the Durin.
Yeah, and I think they have announced that they have 5 seasons planned already.
5 seasons, and they already know what the ending shot of the 5th season is going to be.
Yeah, so we'll have to
It's
see where it goes. But if you guys want to talk about it, or feel free to message us on Instagram, and we will chat with you about different things that we thought about Rings of Power. But yeah, that's our mini review, more just like blasting what I can talk about it. But I am excited to see where it's going to go, and I hope some of the writing overall improves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, our thoughts on Exit the Game, Lord of the Rings, I think it does a good job at bringing in different puzzles and making it very interesting to the plot line of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I think it, as at its entry level, is really great for bringing in new people to the board game space with the attractiveness of the IP.
Yeah, they should have totally gone entry level. That's the perfect fit. However, if this is not your first Exit game, but you do like Lord of the Rings, still get it.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll leave links down below on where you can go check out Exit, Lord of the Ring, as well as any of the other Cosmos games. And I highly recommend, my favorite is Murder on the Orient Express. That is my personal favorite of the Exits.
Ooh.
So I would highly recommend go checking out that one as well.
Yes, we do have another Cosmos review coming this year. That's going to be Switch and Signal. It's a cooperative game where you're trying to get all the trains to go down the tracks. Really looks really fun.
Yeah.
We have not played it yet, but we'll let you know what we think about that this year too.
Now, if you are a fan of the Exit games and have played many of them, comment down below what your favorite is, because we love to pick these up. I think we've played about 4 or 5 by now, so I'd love to pick up some more. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time. Happy playing!